This video is all about how to make cold processed soap. The only ingredients you'll need are some oils and fats to mix with sodium hydroxide and purified water, and some essential oils and or synthetic molecules to perfume your soap. Sodium hydroxide is incredibly hazardous. It's a corrosive chemical and can cause burning to your skin if contact is made. Sodium hydroxide can also be fatal to your eyes, so make soap with caution. Take your time and respect this ingredient. There's a handy website called Brambleberry which will help you design a recipe. First, you choose the type of soap you'll be making. In this case, we're making solid soap. Next, you select the measurement you prefer to work with. I have selected grams. Then you decide if you want to have a superfatting level or not. The superfatting level refers to a percentage of oils and fats which are not turned into soap. The oils and fats that are left over simply nourish your skin. In my recipe, I'm accounting for a 2% superfatting level, but the choice is yours. The next step is where it gets interesting because you decide what goes into your soap. I'm using some olive oil, sunflower oil, evening primrose oil, coconut oil, and shea butter. Now, the numbers inside the boxes refer to the number of grams I'll be using. This part calls for some experimenting. Things like coconut oil and shea butter will aid in the hardening of the soap, as they are what's known as hard oils and fats, whereas the other oils I'm using will make the soap softer. Just play around with ratios and see what suits you best. But for me, this ratio is okay. You'll need a set of digital kitchen scales, or the type used in perfumery or the jewelry trade, which has a 0.001 gram accuracy. Now that we have selected our oils and fats, the calculator does its thing and works out how much sodium hydroxide and purified water we'll need to turn our oils and fats into soap. As you can see, I need 173.54 grams of lye and liquid. Lye is just another name for sodium hydroxide, and liquid refers to purified water. So, we add water to a heat-proof jug, followed by sodium hydroxide. You must never do this the opposite way around, as an unwanted reaction will occur. If you add the sodium hydroxide to a heat-proof jug and then add the water, you will create a caustic volcano and lots of harmful gases will be released, which may knock you unconscious. So take care to get this part right. Stir the sodium hydroxide around in the water until it's dissolved and leave to cool. The temperature of the mixture will now be as high as 200 degrees. Leave it to rest in a safe place out of the reach of children, and make sure that the room is also well ventilated. While that's cooling, I will melt the coconut oil and shea butter, as they are solid at room temperature. If you live in a warm climate, you may not need to do this. Once melted, allow to cool and then mix with the other oils. As well as the oils, I am also adding some crushed lime leaves, crushed bay leaves, and various other leaves which are good for the skin. After a couple of hours or so, the sodium hydroxide and water mixture should be cool enough to continue. This is the point when you would add something like sodium lactate or any pigments, etc. I'm not adding any additives to this batch of soap, so I will proceed to add the oils to the sodium hydroxide and water. Next, I will take an emulsion blender or stick blender and combine everything together. The mixture will become thick and creamy. At this point, I will add my perfume blend and my crushed leaves and give it a few more pulses until everything has merged together. The thicker your mixture, the more difficult it is to pour into molds, so just be conscious of that when using the blender, because the more you blend, the thicker your soap mixture gets. The last stage is simply pouring your mixture into your chosen molds. Leave for a few days and then attempt to remove your soap from your molds and leave for a further 4 to 6 weeks to cure. This allows time for the water content to evaporate from the soap, making your soaps harder and longer lasting, and it also allows for the pH to balance. At this stage, the soap won't be kind to your skin, so it's important to wait. If you use sodium lactate, you can remove your soap from the molds 1 day later. And that's it. That's how you make cold processed soap. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.